Hi, I'm Dempsey Pillot, and this week I'm reviewing Avengers Infinity War was directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, also known as the Russo brothers. Now, many of the actors from previous Avengers films, and even other characters in the MCU, reprised their roles in this film. You have Robert Downey Jr. reprising his role as Iron Man, all the way down to Vin Diesel voicing Groot again. This film is star-studded, to say the least. The film follows all of our heroes scattered across the universe as they try and stop the Mad Titan Thanos from collecting all 6 Infinity Stones. The stones have unmeasurable power, and whosoever wields all of them has the power to control the entire universe. Now, this review is going to be sectioned off into 2 parts. In part 1, I'm going to talk a little bit about the film and what I liked about it, and part 2 will occur after I give my final review of the film, and part 2 will contain some spoilers. And the reason why I'm doing this, I'm just trying something a little bit different, and mostly because this film is just jam-packed. There is so much to talk about this film. I am still in awe. By now, I'm hoping you realize that I really enjoyed this film. In fact, I loved it. And I personally think love is an understatement, okay? This film lived up to the hype and more for me. From the very moment the film opens, we're in it, okay? The Russos do not waste a second. This film grabs you from the beginning and does not let you go to the very unforgettable end. One of the best things about this film is the fact that each character gets equal screen time, okay? And what I mean by that is, no, not every character gets 10 minutes to do whatever the hell they want. The Russo brothers seem to have found a perfect balance with this film, okay? Whenever we're shown a character or a group of characters, they're shown doing something that's vital to the plot. And not once do they even try and tip that scale and ruin that balance by showing something that isn't important or waste time. Everything in this film is important. Everything we're shown is important, from the very beginning, as I said, to the very end. Personally, I was surprised with a lot of the arcs and relationships that developed over the course of the film. The most interesting to me, though, was the one between Doctor Strange and Iron Man, okay? Whenever these guys were on screen together, time stopped. They have such an interesting dynamic. And I really want to see more. Like, it made me want to see more. And I'm not even going to mention the fact that Marvel wasted time by not including some obscure Sherlock Holmes reference, okay? Because you guys did, okay? It would have been perfect. But these guys are just so good together. And there are other examples like that throughout the film as well. One of the other interesting story arcs in this film is between Thor, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot, which is just as interesting as it sounds. And to me, Thor seems to be the breakout character in this film. I don't know who decided that Thor needs to be taken in this new and smart and interesting direction, but whoever you are in the writer's room, you need to pat yourself on the back. Between where he was in Ragnarok and where he's at now in this film, I personally like this new direction that he's headed, and I think it's about time this character has done some justice. You know, Thor's been the most underrated Avenger for the longest time, and in this film, I don't want to spoil anything, but it looks like he has the potential to be the most powerful. Now, when this film was first announced, it was said that it would be Guardians of the Galaxy versus the Avengers. And that's not entirely wrong, but the way in which I would more accurately describe this film is essentially 2 worlds colliding. You have the world on Earth as we know it, and everything that's been established up until this point, colliding with everything that's been established in a macrocosmic universe. This film is literally out of this world. Now, I did have one problem with the film, but I'm not really going to mention it because it's more of a personal one. I'll maybe save it for the spoiler section, but I want to keep this section as clean as possible. I do want to recommend that you go check this film out. This film is so incredible, and it's going to blow your mind. It was a blast, as I said. It lived up to the hype for me and more. And it's truly something special. Think about it. It's a film that's been 10 years in the making. Every film they've made since Iron Man has been leading up until this point. Think about that for a second. Think about that. When was the last time you saw a series of films, such an incredible series of films, lead up to something this massive? Like I said, this film is going to be something that people talk about for years to come, especially the ending. And with that, I'm going to give Avengers Infinity War 5 stars.
Alright.
We did it! We did it!
Now, before we continue, I want to emphasize again that this part contains spoilers, okay? I'm not going to emphasize it again, so if you don't want the film ruined, this is your chance to exit out the window, okay? Alright, you had your chance. The problem I had with this film was the way in which the Soul Stone was found. Now, personally, I was expecting a little bit more, and that's why I said, you know, this part of the film doesn't really impact the rest of the film. This is just a personal opinion of my own. Personally, I was on Team Heimdall. I was expecting him to have some relationship with it, or I thought it would have even been cool for us to, you know, meet Adam Warlock in some way, shape, or form. But that didn't happen. Though I did like the cool little character return of the Red Skull. That was dope. Fantastic. Also, I don't think I'm alone in this, but I didn't expect Thanos to get all 6 Infinity Stones in the first movie. I would have thought they split the quest in half. But now that he did, you know, I'm kind of excited because it leaves us in like awe, you know? He has all the power he wants, and at the end it kind of looks like he's at peace, even though he's halved the entire population on Earth, and the universe for that matter. So it's like, whoa, like it literally leaves you in awe. Like, we don't know what his next move is going to be at all. And speaking about what Thanos did and, you know, cutting the population of the universe in half, as he did in the comics, it was a great and honestly unpredictable move on the part of the Russo brothers. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Particularly the disappearance of Black Panther, who the world just got. He's an international phenomenon. And they took him out of the mix. Like I said, it happened in the comics, but I didn't think they were going to adapt it to the big screen. I think it's interesting that now, with so many people gone, we're left with the core 4 Avengers, primarily, in addition to some others. I mean, now we're back with Thor, Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man, and we're back at square one in a way. We're stripped away of all the other characters that have kind of been introduced in the MCU. And in a way, I think this is the Russo brothers telling us that less is more. That the less people we have to fight against Thanos, the more they're going to have to put in. And I cannot wait to see what the final battle brings us. As I said before, what Thanos does is, in the comic books, is straight out of the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. Literally straight out of the comic book panel. He snaps his fingers and half the universe's population disappears right before everyone's very eyes. And like I said, it was very unpredictable. I did not think that was going to happen. But there were some other things ripped straight from the Infinity Gauntlet storyline that I also liked as well. Particularly Doctor Strange's rude awakening by the Hulk. You know, when he comes through the ceiling. That actually happens in the comic book, except it's the Silver Surfer who alerts Doctor Strange that Thanos is coming. I like the fact that it was the Hulk, though. I think it's funnier. And a lot more interesting. Also, the torture of Nebula is something that's mirrored directly from the Infinity Gauntlet. Very interesting choices and very interesting ideas adapted from the comic book. And I'm very interested to see where the Russo brothers take it next. Like I said, I think it's very interesting to see him collect all 6 Infinity Stones and kind of be at peace now. We don't know where his mind's at or what he has planned next. So the next installment is going to be very important because literally nobody knows what's going to happen. Now, those of us who have seen the movie have kind of figured out that some scenes in the trailer do not actually appear in this movie. For instance, this one, I'll just attach it here so you can check it out. That does not happen. Also, we were told that Captain Marvel was in the film in some capacity, and all we got was that Easter egg in the post-credits scene. We were also told that Hawkeye and Ant-Man would show up. Where were they? You see, the Russo brothers clearly know what they're doing because they are literally psyching us out with all these things. They tell us one thing, they show us one thing, and they totally do another. It's scary, but it's fun. Literally, we don't even know the title to the next Avengers movie because it may be a spoiler for things to come. What these guys are doing is brilliant, and quite frankly, I'm very excited. In all, though, guys, I really love this movie. This film was fantastic. I can't stop raving about it. I can't stop thinking about it. I couldn't even sleep last night after I got home from seeing it because this movie has me on edge. And honestly, I don't think I felt this way or thought about something so hard ever since I saw Inception. My mind is blown. Alright, suffice it to say. And I can't believe I have to wait a year to find out what happens. Oh wait, no. We don't have to wait a year because Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out in July. And there's got to be a clue there, right? I mean, they wouldn't just leave us hanging, right? Right? Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, I would ask that you subscribe. And please, 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 please comment down below if you liked what I did in this video. You know, first half, non-spoilers, second half, spoilers. It's something that I may try and explore in other videos. Also, I would like to hear any thoughts you had on the film in the comment section below as well. Do not hesitate to put any of your theories down there. I'm really eager to hear what other people think. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, Twitter or Instagram or Stardust, I'll put that stuff in the description box below. Stardust, as I mentioned before, is an app where you can actually review movies and TV shows yourself. Prior to watching Infinity War, I actually did a whole catch-up of all the movies in the franchise leading to Infinity War. You can check out my thoughts, my reactions to all those. I'll put the link in the description, as I said. But yeah, I cannot say enough. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support thus far. I do appreciate you guys literally taking time out of your day to watch me talk about movies, because it's something I really do love doing. And I cannot wait to continue doing it for you. But until next time, guys, I'm Dempsey Pillot, and take care.